Hey guys, hey! Mocha and Mickey here. Grab your cup of coffee because now starts part 2 of Magic Kingdom with your littles. So I wanted to open up really quickly by sharing a couple new things that are occurring right now at Disney World that's exciting for you as a family. So one of them is that for Photopass and pictures, no longer do you have to wear a mask. What? Yes, so if as of April 8th, Disney is now saying, hey, guess what? You can take pictures outdoors without your mask on, but you need to still be properly socially distant from others while doing so. So with that being said, I wanted to go into Photopass. Now, Photopass, for those of you who don't know, is an awesome thing that you can add on to your Disney package. And I say awesome because it allows you to capture those magical moments with your family. And the Photopass cast members are phenomenal. They are excellent with getting your children to actually look at the camera and to smile, and they do a lot of fun and creative things. I honestly have never had a dull moment with a Photopass cast member. In fact, I remember one cast member that we had just recently at Magic Kingdom in front of the castle, and he was so energetic and bubbly, and he wanted us to be so excited, just as excited as he was to be there and be able to be a part of the magic. And during a pandemic, it is difficult because a lot of things have changed, but it was just an awesome experience because it really brought back the way it used to be, and it was really, really cool. We got some awesome photos, of course, with our masks on, but I will say it's very exciting that they're allowing you to take the castle selfies now without your mask on. So get ready and enjoy that as a family. Get some awesome photos in front of the castle, and the crowds are not, they're limited, so you are gonna have a better view of the castle taking those photos, which is also really, really exciting. So enjoy that time, and I highly, highly suggest it. You will not regret having all those photos, everything to choose from, and just going back and remembering that time with your family. So another cool thing that I saw pop up was, it's pretty neat actually. A gentleman by the name of Don, I can't recall the last name, but he actually physically ran from Disneyland, which those of you who don't know is in California, and all the way to Disney World, which is in Florida. And he ran for type 1 diabetes, and I thought that was a really cool thing. He himself has type 1 diabetes, and I just thought it was a really neat way to spread awareness, first of all, with type 1, and also the fact that he was doing something really positive in maybe a really crummy time right now with the pandemic. It's just kind of cool to see people taking something maybe not so great and turning it into something really cool. So when he finally made that final lap to Magic Kingdom, actually, there was a huge amount of cast members. I encourage you to look it up. It's pretty neat. There was a huge amount of cast members there to greet him, obviously with water and some gifts from Magic Kingdom, but it's pretty cool. So if you haven't checked that out, I encourage you to check it out because it's awesome. Now, moving on to part 2, now that I have gotten you here, hopefully, I wanted to real quickly go over a few things as far as a little bit more in the food aspect, because I know I briefly touched on dining plan and how it's not available at this moment. I just wanted to make sure that you understood during this time too, when you go into Magic Kingdom, you want to look up all your food choices, especially with kids. And if you are a planner like myself, I love to plan. I like things scheduled. I will say sometimes that goes out the window because with kids, you just never know. I always suggest playing it by ear with your kids if you feel like they are being pushed too much. You will see, your kids, so you will understand when it's time for a break, and when it's time to scale back and maybe go to the mask relaxation station and enjoy a brief moment to just get yourself together, take off your mask, go to the restroom. And I think that's really important as a family, is to really just be in tune with your kids and make sure that you yourself are not pushing and that you're hydrating. That's really important. So before you go, check out the cool restaurants that they have available. They have a lot of, right now the quick service is fun because you can just go right up to the actual entrance of the dining location and you can really quickly scroll through their menu and decide what you want to eat, and you don't have to wait in line. That's really neat, and you can go off and do something else while they're preparing your food for you. Another option too is that you reserve a dining area. Last time we did the plaza, which I highly suggest. With kids, we did it during lunchtime, which was the perfect time to go, I think. Our kids were tired already, the sun's beating down on you, and it was really a nice time to step into an air-conditioned restaurant. If you guys don't know about the plaza, it's a really pretty restaurant. The seating area is not very large, so they don't have a ton of reservations open because of the socially distant thing. But if you're able to get in, I suggest it. The pricing is doable for a family, and it's a lot of fun. The area is really cool. It's on Main Street, USA, and you can overlook the castle. So as you're eating, you're able to see out their glass windows, the castle, which is really cool. It was a really fun experience. I was like, why didn't we do this earlier on in life? But very cool experience. And the kids were able to get a fun dessert with their meal, which also is very exciting to them, because it was ice cream and, on a warm day, and it's just really cute. The theme is very sweet. And there's restrooms right outside the Plaza restaurant, which is also very convenient for rest stops. So I will say that was really enjoyable. There are a few others that you do need, to reserve dining for. There are some spectacular dining experiences that you can have there, and I highly suggest planning out, maybe if you do want to reserve a dining spot and you do want to take that time out of your day to just sit and relax. And but if you are like, nope, I am there to spend the time because we've spent so much money, I get it too. I will say, just play it by ear, like I said, with your kids, just because you don't want to push them so far that they've just had it and they don't want to do anything. Or, you have the temper tantrums where they're screaming in line and they just need a breather. So another thing about the dining, I will say, hydrate. So if you yourself or your family are thirsty, don't buy those, water bottles for $4-5 when you can go right up to a kiosk. Any of the places that serve the fountain drinks normally will have iced water. So what I do is I bring this handy dandy water bottle, and I actually go up and ask for a couple of iced waters right up at the food carts with the fountain drinks, and I will pour those right into this, and off we go. This is a Camelback, insulated Camelback, and this has been my go-to because I can close it. It's an easy top for kids to drink out of, and we just do that. It's so important, guys, to stay hydrated, because it can make or break your trip sometimes. If you get dehydrated or your child gets dehydrated, they are not going to want to do much of anything the next day, or even the rest of that day that you're there, and you will not feel good, and it will not be magical. So please hydrate. You can get that for free, and there are quite a few people who still don't know about that. In fact, they encourage you to ask for iced water just because it does get very warm there. Another awesome, I told you about the popcorn buckets, which I hope you do it, because the popcorn buckets are amazing. And it is a great snack for the kids who are hungry all the time. They just have to have food. And a good line buster. I will say right now during the pandemic, they require you to stop and finish your food or your drink, your beverage, before you get into the line, such as the Jungle Cruise. We actually ordered Dole Whips, and we were eating Dole Whips, and then we actually had to eat them prior to, they would not let us in line until we finished those. And I will say, we've been there, we've been, shoveling food in so we can just, get into line. Just remember that as you maybe will go to an attraction that you need to finish your food or your beverage. As far as like water goes, I just put it right in my bag. They don't have to tell me then to stop, which is nice, because then you're not holding up the line and stuff like that too. So as far as like bags go and stuff, I highly suggest if you have children, I would bring a bag. I'm just gonna say it. That way you're not stuck with like carrying all this stuff in your hands, or your kids aren't carrying things. We actually, when we go in the heat of the summer, which I know a lot of people do only because it's easier scheduling for children during school, and they do offer some great deals during the summer as well. So I will say I understand that you need to go during that time, and that's okay. But there are some things that will make your life easier, and one of them is a Camelback. Buy Camelback. For those of you who don't know what it is a backpack. It's a hydration backpack. And a friend of mine told me about these a couple years back. I actually, our daughter has severe Crohn's disease, so she needs to replenish her fluids quite often and gets tired easily if she does not have fluids. So I was looking for something other than me, having just a water bottle. I was looking for something that would like continually give her what she needs. And someone has suggested this hydration pack. Guys, game changer. Okay, so they're not very large. The kids ones are smaller, and they are able to, it's literally a hose from a water pack, and they are able to drink as much whenever they need it. And it stays cool for most part the whole day, and we just kept putting that iced water right into her pack. And it doubles as a backpack. So it's very convenient if your kid is a pin trader, or if they have a granola bar or something they want or they need right away, it's right in their pack. I have even packed a change of clothes in there, socks for those wet rides if you get wet. It's a great thing to have. I also have this bag here, which is pretty cool. I got this for my birthday, actually, and I asked her where she got it. She got this off Amazon. It fully zips, and I believe they still have it on Amazon, I'm almost positive. And it has some interior pockets. I have some wet wipes in there, and I love it. Now, it's not, it's moisture wicking on the outside, but not on the inside. I always pack my stuff in Ziploc, and if I don't want it to get wet, I'll do, the Ziploc, put it in there, and then I'll put it in here. This is phenomenal because it carries all the stuff that I need, and very easily I can put this on an attraction. I can grab it off of a stroller, and it goes on my shoulders really, really nice. If you're not a backpacker, which I am not, I don't love a backpack on my back. I'd much rather do a fanny pack, aka a belt bag. The belt bag is the cool word for it, but I love my fanny packs. If you know me, I am obsessed with fanny packs. I could probably do a video about it. But I will say I really, really love this, and I've used it several trips because of how much it fits too, which I really like. Another thing that I would keep in my bags, which you don't have to, but I do because I'm like that, are these wet ones, or Kleenex has a little brand that are literally these wet wipes. They're super easy. You just rip them apart, put them in your, I put them in my purse, put them in my bag, we're all set. After snacks, this is a good idea to have. I don't have to tell you moms that because I think you know, kids are sticky. And also germy, they like literally touch everything, anything that you could touch, even though they wear masks, they still, you know, somehow it gets in there somehow. I don't know, they're magic. Also another fun thing to put in your bag, which if you don't know about pin trading, I will do a video on that, but I love pin trading, and this lanyard here is one that I'm currently wearing, that I have gotten some traders on from last trip. I loved pin trade. If you do pin trading with your children, I suggest it because it's really fun and they really get into it. Our oldest child he is a pin trader. He loves it. It's one of his most favorite things to do in the parks. It's very fun to watch him trade too because he gets extremely excited if he sees a pin that he must have. I get these starter packs, and they are just a series of pins, and they can be anywhere from like $15 to $25 for the starter packs, and there's 5 in a pack. And then, these are actually like villains, I believe. So I don't collect these, and I purposely got them because I don't collect them. They are tradable pins because they are Disney pins. I try to stick with actual Disney pins because I know if I'm trading in the park, I want to give somebody an official Disney pin, and I want to get an official Disney pin. So I like to just get these traders. That way I can trade them in the park, and I am not like, oh, I don't want to trade them away. But I really, really enjoy trading. The cast members used to, for the most part, a ton of cast members would be involved in the pin trading. They would wear lanyards with pins, and you could trade along in the park. However, that is not the case right now. In Magic Kingdom, they have boards set up in every land. In every land there is a place that you can trade pins at, so it's stationary and it's one specific area. So it is kind of a bummer right now, but it's still available for you to do, which is nice, and then you didn't just get rid of it altogether. So it's two trades per person, so you can choose up to 2 pins that you'd prefer. Right now they my favorite trading spot in Magic Kingdom is the Space Mountain gift store. I will tell you why, because this right here, this little baby here, I got 2 trips ago. I don't know if you can see it really well, but it is the Carousel of Progress. And the Carousel of Progress, if you have not been in this attraction yet, you need to experience it, okay? The Carousel of Progress is located in Tomorrowland in Magic Kingdom. It's one of my favorite attractions. It's great, has some great history around it. It's a great time to take a rest. It's indoor, it's air conditioned, and it has a very catchy tune, as does most attractions that come are a little bit earlier in time, such as It's a Small World. This came from the State Fair, and it is a very cool attraction. The animatronics are awesome for the age of the attraction. It's just really, really cool. I highly suggest it. And I know after suggesting it, some of you are like, no. And I'm like, no. You have to experience the Carousel of Progress. You have to get that song, There's a Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow, in your head. My family all experienced it last trip, and I will say that it is memorable, and we still message back and forth about the Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow and trivia about it, so it is very fun. I will say that you want to make sure that you hit the boat attractions first in Magic Kingdom, because what happens is the socially distant situation, they end up being very, very long rides. So, your Pirates of the Caribbean, your Jungle Cruise, because they can only put so many people on that boat, and they're at the mercy of how fast they can get people in and out of that boat. So your Omnimovers, such as like Haunted Mansion, Ariel's Grotto, Peter Pan's Flight, those kinds of things will move a little bit faster because they're an Omnimover. They can get people in and out in a rather fast pace. They also are able to socially distance you quite fine because they put a party thing. So I will say you will want to hit up like Splash Mountain. And Splash Mountain is changing into our second daughter's favorite character movie, The Princess and the Frog. She loves Tiana, and I suggest if you're going right now to Magic Kingdom that you do experience Splash Mountain, just because it is changing and it will be different than what it is now. It essentially will be the same ride, I'm sure, but the theming is going to be changing. So enjoy that while you can. I will say that I love all the attractions in all the lands. There is not one that, besides like the Carousel of Progress, I love all of the older ones. Peter Pan's Flight. People say I'm crazy for loving Peter Pan's Flight, but I love it so much. I think there's just a lot of fuzzy feelings for me as a child growing up and going to Disney, just around those attractions and how they make me feel getting on that and just experiencing that. And then now with my children, which is even more exciting to me, and just watching them as they experience that magic like I did and I continue to do. So I really highly suggest taking the time and, going to your attractions. Magic Kingdom, I would say, for the most part, is a 2-day experience for you. I wouldn't shortchange it because there is so much to do at Magic Kingdom. If you have an extra day, if you have that extra park pass, I highly suggest Magic Kingdom if you have smaller children. Even our son, who is 11, he really enjoys Magic Kingdom. I think mainly for the pin trading, but he enjoys, I think, the nostalgia, just all the different things that you can do there and the different foods and stuff. I really, really suggest it if you have, like I said, smaller children, just because you will get more for your buck kind of thing. And there are so many rides. And especially as a kid, you do not want to just push. And then that's all they remember is literally being pushed from ride to ride. So I really highly suggest cutting it and doing, what you can maybe in the day, and, leave some time for shopping. Shopping is also fun to a child. Our children thoroughly enjoy it. Magic Kingdom has some really spectacular shops. I really, really love the Emporium, which is at the beginning of Main Street USA. It's really neat to go in there. It is huge. I suggest not going in there at the end of the evening. Somehow or another, we always end up going there at the end of the evening. I would probably suggest it halfway through your day, just for a break. And that way you're not in with a ton of people and you're able to look at everything. I suggest what we do is give the kids each a gift card, a Disney gift card, and you can use that on merchandise or food, or dining, reservations, things like that. I highly suggest it only because that way they have like a tangible, okay, once this is gone, that's it kind of thing. And they really like that, and that way they can pick out something that is meaningful to them or they really saw they had to have. I will say too, what's really cool about Magic Kingdom, they have the confectionery. And if you've ever stepped foot into the confectionery, you get a huge whiff of amazing goodies. Even on Main Street, as you're walking past, you can smell that. It is so good. They have awesome treats in there. They have a cookie literally the size of my head, a Mickey cookie that is so good. There's all great things in there. They have an Uptown Jewelers. Like, it's a very, very cute area of Main Street. I would save it and do it for when you guys need a breather. Just so you can enjoy walking down Main Street and going in and out of the different shops. They also have on Main Street, which is my favorite area of the park. No, it is definitely my go-to, is the Starbucks. And it's the Main Street Bakery. It's not called Starbucks. But I will say, it is awesome. It is, generally speaking, before rope drop, so before the park opens officially. It is very hard to get into because everybody seems to go there first to get their breakfast or drink or whatever before actually going into the park and doing the rides and attractions. So I will say that if you do not have the patience to wait in a line, which I don't blame you, and you don't want to miss the rope drop, don't even bother. Go towards the rope drop, do your ride with your child, and then maybe go back and do Starbucks. But they also have some great coffee kiosks around in the different lands, so you won't miss out on coffee. If you don't know, and if you're like, I need coffee, ask a cast member. They will be more than willing to direct you in that situation. There is a lot of amazing things to see in Magic Kingdom. Like I said, I would split it into 2 days. Enjoy that time. If you need to bring a stroller, don't feel bad. There are plenty of people who need to bring strollers. I would say if you're on the fence about it, do it, because you won't regret if your child is tired, or if you are trying to get to somewhere quickly and your child is having a hard time keeping up and you feel like you're dragging them. It's great to just put them in the stroller, get there. And as far as even like your items too, like the bag, you can throw that in your stroller. I would say don't second guess it. If you think you need the stroller, bring it. It's not a big deal. I know people are like, oh, the strollers are the worst, but honestly, at the end of the day, if your child is going to have a better experience, it'll be better for your whole family if your child has a better experience with that stroller. We have 3 children, and I am going to be honest, I used, a stroller for each of them at different times in their lives. And I will say that I even at one point, I recall having 2 different strollers because they both needed a stroller, and I didn't want to put them in a double because I'm like, it takes up too much space. I don't want them arguing. So we each had a stroller, and you do what you have to during that point in your life. You're at different walks and different stages of life, and that's okay. And cast members are great with it. They will help guide you. And I would just say, be aware of who's around you, especially during this time with social distancing and stuff. Just pay attention and be aware of people. Also, the social distancing, make sure that you're reminding your children, hey, we need to stay on this marker, just so that we're socially distant from the next party. Or, hey, how about you count how many markers will it take to get to this spot? Make a game of it. And just also with the masks, be patient with your children. It's a lot for an adult to wear a mask all day long. It's going to be even more so for your child. So just be patient and remember that, maybe waiting in a half an hour line is like the end of the world for your child, I would say don't do it then. You know, go get a snack, go cool down, hang out at Splash Mountain. You know, there's different things that you can do and change things around so that your child is comfortable and that you're comfortable. And you want to make sure, like I said, that you hydrate. So that's it for Magic Kingdom Part 2. I briefly touched on things. I could go in each land and tell you exactly what rides to do, even though I think you should do them all. And Magic Kingdom has to be probably my favorite park. I just love everything around the Magic Kingdom and the history that's there. And I did a tour, behind the scenes tour a few years back, and it just made me fall in love even more with Magic Kingdom. And I suggest taking one of those. And if you know, I don't believe they're not open right now, just because of everything in the pandemic and stuff. But once they do become available, it's worth the money. If you are a Disney diehard and you enjoy history, it is just an awesome thing. And the cast member, the plaid, is phenomenal. They do a phenomenal job. They know their stuff. They've had big time training. They understand the history behind the park, and they just pour themselves into being a plaid. So that's also a really cool experience. Our tour guide, who was a plaid, she was phenomenal. Her name was Kara. She actually got furloughed by Disney during the pandemic, but she was so awesome. She loved Disney so much, and you could just tell by how she talked about Disney and the experience that she was able to share with us, the experiences that she was able to share with us. I highly suggest doing one of those behind the scenes tours. But thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with me for 30 minutes. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I am looking forward to doing more videos. I'm hoping to dive into a couple different parks as well. I think I'll probably do a DIY next. And my next video, I want to do a day of Disney at home. And it'll look like doing Disney in your home with your children and just bringing that experience to home. And how much you can really do at home and how excited the kids are to do it too. So thank you for tuning in. Go enjoy your coffee. Have a magical day.